that over there? Is it a car? Is it a fence? Nah, it's an episode of the Content Corner. What's up, everybody?
I, I honestly didn't know where you're going with that. I was like, wait, what? What are you talking about?
I didn't want to go for Is It a Bird, Is It a Plane? Because that's been so overdone.
Super played out.
I mean, it's a classic. It's a classic for a reason. But I feel like that would give away too much of the episode, being that this week is a double film feature. That's right. It's a DFF. Okay? That's not going to catch on. I know it. I know it's not going to catch on. It's not fetch enough.
It's
We'll
a.
get there.
It's a. That's it.
Oh, man. But, so this week we're going to talk about two movies. Two movies. One live action and one animation. Both of which I actually enjoyed a lot.
They're both good.
Like,
they're both really
you
good.
know? So, like, the first one we'll talk about is Inside the Thread. I mean, no, Outside the Wire. Sorry.
Inside the
Get
Thread.
those confused.
Ridiculous.
With Anthony Mackie on Netflix right now. And I think it's great. I think it's a watch. I think it deserves a watch.
I do think it deserves a watch. One thing I'll say to preface this movie.
Spoiler warnings.
No, it's not even a spoiler warning. It's just it's on Netflix and it's a Netflix movie. And I mentioned it before, but I feel like all Netflix movies feel like Netflix movies, you know. And this is a question to everybody out there that's listening. I want to make sure if I'm crazy or not. Don't you feel like Netflix produced like things like Netflix shows, Netflix like movies, Netflix like whatever? It has like a certain feel to it that you're like, yeah, this is Netflix. This is Netflix hand. This is like Netflix like type filmmaking going on. It's weird.
Yeah, no. There's definitely a vibe. A very much vibe.
Yeah, I don't know if it's
Of
cinematography or if it's like a hue that they use or whatever, but it just all not to say that they all feel the same or a movie's bad because of it. It just has a certain feel to it.
yeah.
Yeah, so that's it. That's all I wanted to preface.
It's like, but obviously we're. I'm since this is a fairly new movie, I'm gonna try to stay spoiler free at least for the first bit, and then move into the spoiler territory, which is that the whole point of the movie is Duke gets shipped off to the front lines in this new in the futuristic year of 2030X.
Was it actually 2030X?
Actually,
Like, I
probably
was not paying attention to the year.
no. I'm just making shit up. I'm making shit up. I'm making shit up.
Okay.
That part I'm making shit up. Hard body. But basically, we're at a point where we're at war, not with Russia, but with a country near Russia,
We're not at
and
war.
like
We're not at war at all. The U.S. They're not at war at all. It's not in that movie.
no, we're in this war.
No, they're peacekeepers.
That's why we're there.
They're peacekeepers. They're in between the two warring sides, which is Ukraine and the Kaznis.
Hmm.
Yeah, and they are in the demilitarized zone, trying to prevent further war and or further like battle. And you kind of find out like later why they're really there, but it's not like the U.S. has declared war or is in war with anybody.
True, true. But we're there as always, not minding our own business at all. You know, because that's what the U.S. does when it comes to military. I'm surprised they didn't even mention oil this time in the movie. So, Uh, yeah. So guy gets sent to the front lines and gets all up in some crazy ass shit. The guy who gets sent to the front lines is not Anthony Mackie. He's already there, and I don't want to talk about this character too much because I feel like that's a bit of a reveal. you know.
I mean, like talking about the story in general is going to be a reveal. But what I will say is that the movie touches on some interesting points about U.S. relations, about war in general, and about human nature.
Actually, before we continue, do you think for the sake of our viewers, we should mention the other movie, also a little bit spoiler free, and then just go into both with full spoilers, or you want to do one and then the other?
Um, Give me a second. Contemplating, calculating. Uh, yeah, we can mention the other movie real quick.
All right, cool. So we got the other movie before we go into full spoiler territory with either of them is one that I did not fully expect to enjoy because I don't like Superman as a character. I hate him. It's called Super Bitch.
Maddox.
The epitome of the overpowered character. I need 4D vision. I now have 4D vision. There was no panels in between those two statements.
That's Superman for you.
Ugh. 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 It's just, ugh. Anyway, we did watch, what was it, Superman Man of Tomorrow?
Man of Tomorrow.
Yeah. And it was a good movie. But I think I've come to terms that I can enjoy Superman when it's like early Superman. When he's like starting out to become Superman. Because he's not all powerful that by that point.
I will say, like, Superman varies wildly, wildly with how much he can do and when he can do it.
That's because he forgets he's Superman.
True, but like it's also like different iterations of Superman. Like you watch Young Justice, that Superman,
Yeah.
he's strong, he's strong, but he's not like wild. He's not like he's gonna end this conflict solo dolo strong. You know,
He's not Justice League Unlimited Superman.
he's not.
World made out of cardboard Superman.
He's not. He really isn't. Like he's strong. Don't get me wrong, but like you know, he he suffers his fair share of problems. But this Superman is super early days Superman. We're talking like
He doesn't even have a costume
he doesn't
yet.
have a costume. He doesn't have a name yet. Like they call him the Flying
Flying
Man.
Oh man, this is what got me. It wasn't the full line. Speaking of what I said in the beginning of the episode, it was just like when that one dude at one point, very early in the movie, is like, "Look up in the sky," and I'm like, "I swear to God, if you say it."
Here's the thing: he couldn't have said it because everybody knows what it is. They literally watched the rocket launch.
It just, I was like, why? But um, overall, it was a good movie. I enjoyed it. Uh, I called a couple things, which isn't a bad thing. I was just like, because I called who like the villain and like was gonna be, and like I think one other thing, and it wasn't bad because I'm like, oh, it was still entertaining to see how they used it, how they dealt with it.
True. Like he saw the
It's
signs
just
coming. He was like, hang on. He was doing a little bit of detective work. Is that goop? That's goop. I know who this is gonna be.
I want to point out. I want to point out my deduction for that ended up being correct, but my deduction for that was I'm just like, uh huh. Um, there's a random dude. Okay. Oh, this is weird goop going. It's probably gonna affect him weird. It's purple. This character's purple. It's this dude. The color is what I was just like. Is this is the villain? I just went through like purple villains. Go.
And he was right. It was good on you.
But yeah. Also, I think if you're a fan of Superman movie, if you're a fan of Superman, definitely watch it. If you're okay with Superman, just still check it out. It's a good movie. If you hate Superman like I do, give it a shot. Give it a shot.
Yeah.
Don't gotta sit through the whole movie, but give it a shot. Cause like, I'll be honest, I started out that movie. I was on my phone half the movie. Like I kept going back and forth,
Yeah.
listening. I was listening the whole time. Listening the whole time. Like I caught all the dialogue. It's just like whenever there was just random like, whenever the people like talking like Clark and Lois, I'm like, yeah, all right. I don't need to visually see this right now because nothing important is gonna happen for this section.
Yo, that Lois was fucking.
Fine.
She was fine. She was fine. I was like, usually Lois is like, she's a pretty girl, but like
Yeah.
this Lois was fine. I was like, yo,
I'm not fine.
fine. She had the like I don't know if it was a leather jacket, but it was like the jacket that's like like that crop top type of jacket, like it doesn't go all the way down. I was like, why,
Yep.
why is she looking bad right now? What?
And this is a young Lois because she's in like, based on the statement that they say that she's a grad student, I can only assume that she's probably mid to late 20s. Not
Mid
that old.
20s. I'd say like she was probably like 24, 25.
Yeah. Hey, Lance is right up your alley. Anyway.
But what I will say about this movie is that so this this movie has followed a trend for Superman where the last like 4 or 5 animated Superman movies have been really good. Like
I haven't seen any of them except for this one, so.
they've been good. Like none of the stupid old school bullshit Superman where you're just like sitting there just like ugh, this fucking
I gotta
end this
ask.
already. What's up?
In Reign of Superman, when Superman comes back to quote unquote life, and by life I mean he just comes out of his super coma. Does he does he wear that black suit, that like black and silver suit that's always been fire?
Mm-hmm.
That's what he does. Cool.
Yes.
And
yes.
B.
Sorry, I thought you were gonna ask both questions, but yes, he does.
So, all right, that's the A. And B. Does he have a mullet?
He doesn't have a mullet. His hair is longer, but he has a beard.
Because I always found it hilarious, just mullet Superman. Because from like the OG Doomsday, from when he like quote unquote died back in the day, he came back with that and he had a full on mullet. I'm like, man went into a coma, comes out with a mullet. I don't know how you do it, but sure.
I mean, your hair still grows, right?
This was a styled mullet, though.
It's super hair.
That's the shit I'm talking about. That's the shit I'm talking about. Man's whole life. Oh yeah, he can do this. How? Oh, it's super this. Super insert blank. That's his life. Super basket weaving.
Yeah, super basket weaving. The most like OP power I've ever heard.
Oh man. But yeah. So overall, I like both movies. I recommend both of them pretty highly. Outside the Wire, I say is like a should definitely check it out. I don't think you'd enjoy it past the first time just because of like some setups and some like twists, and then depending on like I feel like it's not one of those movies that the twists are enjoyable enough to want to watch it again, but it's still worth one watch at least.
One solid watch. The first viewing is good. I can't imagine that I'll really be into a second viewing. Like if I tried, I'd be like, okay. I mean, I now know what's coming, so whatever.
I mean, maybe I'll notice some stuff that I didn't before.
I mean, that's like usually the case, right? But
But I feel like that's not necessary in this situation because when they do the quote unquote reveal, they actually flash back scenes from earlier to show like the hints, and I'm like, oh, so like you're giving me my second viewing within the first viewing. Cool thing.
do they do a flashback?
Yeah, to certain little things that he said to Anthony Mackie's character says.
Mm.
Like it's really quick. They like go back, like
Oh,
flashback
yeah.
to like certain lines.
See, I thought
And then
I thought he just recited what he said, not that they actually did a flashback. But
nah, they did like a quick like visual flash, and I was just like,
fair enough.
second viewing within the first viewing. Thank you, saving me time. But yeah, and as for Superman, like I said, it's worth it. It's worth to check out. More so if you like Superman, less so if you hate him. I was forced to watch the movie, so like, and I actually ended up
Forced.
kind of enjoying it.
Forced.
You know, so
We gave you
yeah,
options, my dude.
they Clockwork Oranged me, like
What?
strapped me to a chair, kept my eyelids open with like
This is a.
eye
Why are you
pressure.
lying? Why are you making it sound like you didn't enjoy this movie when you did?
I did, but you forced me to watch it,
No,
so
I
it's
didn't.
fine.
No, I didn't. You were in the safety of your own home. You could have shut off your laptop at any time.
You sent your Android replicas over to
Android
strap me to a
replicas,
chair.
you said.
Yeah.
My Doombots?
Nah, sorry, that's my thing. You're right. Use your dark wizard powers. Your dark wizard Ganon over here.
Fucking lies. Lies and fascism.
Lies and fascism.
Lies and fascism.
I'm
Spreading
used
fake
to
news.
I'm used to lies and slander, but okay, lies and fascism. All right then. Fun fact:
Fun fact.
I learned about the difference between slander and libel thanks to the Sam Raimi Spider-Man movies. Thank you, J. Jonah Jameson, for explaining that to me.
Nice.
Yeah, I didn't know that there was like an actual difference.
Who said movies aren't educational?
Right. But I think that's enough for the spoiler-free talk, because that's all about I have to say without spoiling the movie. So now, if you have seen the movie or you just don't care, Outside the Wire. So, Robot Captain.
So, I think that using androids for warfare that aren't, you know, that are like sentient is always a bad idea. It's always a bad idea.
I mean, Dr. Giro showed us that already.
Bro, every time. It has not worked out once that you make a sentient robot being and it just works out for the best. In the beginning, I was just like, oh yeah, like he's like, I feel compassion, this and that, blah blah blah, and I'm like, okay. And then like he's like ruthlessly murdering people. I'm like, I mean, I get that it's for the mission. You're prioritizing, like you're pretty logical, but like this is like sketch. But I was like, I'll go along with this. And then like towards the end when he was just like, so I'm so compassionate that I'm thinking of like the future. I'm like, see, now you're not focusing on the immediate like future. You're focusing on like the human race down the line, and I don't want robots thinking about that because it's always going to end up being for the sake of humanity. I need to destroy a shit ton of people. It always ends up that way. You look at Terminator, look at iRobot, look at this movie. It just never fucking works out.
No, never does, ever. 100% failure. Just don't do it.
Or don't do it. Like I don't know why.
At the very least, if you're gonna give your android sentience, don't give them combat capabilities.
One or the other. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's like giving him combat capabilities, like, hey, hella effective killing machine. But like,
Do you really want a killing machine to be able to like, you know, control the planet? Mm.
dude, like
Or destroy it?
dude, it's the fact that like he escaped his failsafe and like programming by just saying like, oh, okay, for one, I just tricked this kid to cutting this thing out, and then two, uh, a paradox of command. I was like, excuse me. Like,
Yeah, it's like if it is deemed if due to situation circumstances, I can deem that this person is no longer is not viable to come take command because
yeah,
under due
poor
either
judgment
mental
and
or
like all this
physical
stuff.
duress, whatever. Then it's just like I can now have free reign, and you take out the failsafe. So thanks, scrub.
First off, when he was just like, "Oh, I need you to remove this tracker," I would have been like, "No, why? For what?"
Mm.
Right? And he's just like, I can't even remember that scene very well because I remember like he said, "I need you to remove this tracker so that we can get this mission done." I'm like, that doesn't make any sense. And even if it was just like, "Oh, they'll try to stop me," I've been like, "Listen, if they try to stop you or whatever, or like you said that you're using me right as the what did he say? Like a drone operator can follow a lead, and it's just like following a lead. But if he does it, he's AWOL or something, right?
Some shit like that.
So at
Yeah.
that point, it's like if my neck's already on the line, let's just keep my neck on the line. Why do I need to remove this tracker? Like, there's no point. Like,
Also,
it
I think
doesn't
it's also
change anything for
because
me.
what if you remember the reason he was going to be AWOL is because that's why he tossed his drive. So it's like he never actually like reported for duty.
Yeah,
So it's like, oh, we sent you there and you don't report to for duty, and now you're behind the line
word.
behind enemy lines, fucking shit up. Like what? But I don't know. Either way,
I'm just
I
saying
want to
that part
see
he should not have gotten played.
yo. I wish we could have seen more of like because it seemed like that while he was a robot and therefore stronger and faster, right?
Mm.
He wasn't like that much stronger and faster. You know what I mean?
I
Like they
mean,
never showed him going like stupid stuff,
yeah, it was enhanced
like
strength.
punching an entire. Yeah, like it wasn't like oh I can punch an entire the support pillar of a building with one hand. Not that much,
Nah, it
but
was more
like
like if he
I can
punches
impale
somebody,
someone.
like that person's gonna fly across the room. Like a
Exactly.
solid
Or like
12
I can
foot.
take a flagpole and impale somebody with it by throwing it at them.
That was pretty wild. That was pretty wild.
Now, what got me was when he jumped through both back windows of the car.
What?
No hesitation.
Which part?
It was that same scene. It was the same scene where he was killing Koval and his men. It was one that before he killed the chick with her own gun.
Mm-hmm.
He jumped through the windows of the back seat in one go, like both
Ridiculous.
sides.
Ridiculous.
Went through one, came out the other, landed, grabbed the chick's gun, and shot her with her own gun. I'm like, yo.
Dude, like the part that got me was when he was in the bank, like like when he was going after the vault, and then one of the
Mm-hmm.
Gumps was shooting him, and he was like in the side room. He went in one door, ran out the other door, tossed a grenade, and then shot it in one go. Got blown back, and he didn't even take a chance to appreciate that amazing kill. He got blown back, rolled, and then sprint. Like it just, I was just like, this man is not stopping. I was like, this is how you know he's not human. A normal human would have been like, that was fire. He's just like,
check out my handiwork.
must execute directive. Like, it's ridiculous.
Must execute directive. Flaunt my skills.
Stupid. But yeah, he was pretty badass. It was really good. It got me wondering if you would like beat a Terminator. You know, like is he that good?
I don't think he'd beat a Terminator. Well, I guess it depends on which Terminator. Like the T-800, I
Mm,
think he could definitely take a T-800.
but a T-1000.
Not a T-1000. He has no way of dealing with that shit.
I mean,
Then again, a lot of people don't. Liquid metal?
I mean,
Like, what's he gonna
he
do?
he could figure it out, right?
In time?
Yeah. Because the thing is, like, I think he's smart enough to not die immediately. You know?
You know who he's not taking though? I forget the actual model number, but I call it the T-1800 because it was the one from the newer Terminator movie that
Dark
was
Fate or
a
Dark
T.
Winter or whatever it was called.
Yeah,
It
that like
it was a X something because it's a whole different like company and shit. But that one was
I just call
wild.
it yeah. I just call it the T-1800 because I honestly see it as like a T-800 with wearing a T-1000.
That's true. The T-1800. It's
Oh man,
wild. That is the wildest Terminator I've ever seen, and so smart, so efficient. Ugh, fucking dangerous. No, he's not taking that. But this movie it was fun for that, and like the
it
philosophical
was.
like parts. It always ends up being like the choice is like, oh well, kill all these humans to like teach humans a lesson, or like no, humans can learn to be better. I'm like, okay, okay,
Can they
buddy.
though?
Can they?
Can we?
I don't know about that, man.
Like, there's a reason history repeats itself a lot for us.
Yeah, like listen, it's not impossible that humans can learn. It's just highly unlikely.
Like, what was it? 1920s? No, 1820s. We had some kind of pandemic. 1920s. We had some kind of pandemic. What happened in 2020? Oh no! I wonder what happened, Lens.
Well, the thing is, the pandemic isn't the fault of people. It's just the handling of the pandemic is the fault of the people.
Yeah, and that's what makes it a pandemic.
I mean,
I stand by what
the disease
I
is what makes it a pandemic.
said. Yeah, but if it was handled properly from the beginning, then they would have never gotten to that level.
I mean, it still would have gotten to a level, just not this bad.
I blame humanity. Clearly, it's a virus that was cultivated in a lab by some schmuck. Anyway, um, green poison, Division 2, about to get activated.
Bro, if it was green poison, we all would have died already.
Oh yeah,
We all would have been dead.
most of the planet would have been dead.
Yeah. Anyway, um, that's all I gotta say about Outside the Wire. Outside the Wire? Yeah,
Same.
Outside the Wire. Not because of you. I'm doubting the name of the movie.
I mean, yeah, fair. And then like onto what do you call onto Superman of Tomorrow. See, like how I combined them into one title there.
I see what you did there, you jerk.
Yeah. But yeah. Overall, so I want to point out once again, called that shit with Parasite.
It was such a good call. You were like, oh, that's Parasite. I'm like, what? And like,
Parasite.
he just started absorbing people's like essence. I'm like, well, it's Parasite. Good shit.
And then they even called them that too, and I was just like, I knew it.
That was a good call.
It was the level of enthusiasm of I knew it. As for those who watch Brooklyn Nine-Nine, when Boyle called exactly how Captain Holt would react to eating a marshmallow.
That was good. Dude, fucking Lobo.
Lobo's always
Lobo's
a joy.
always a great fucking time.
He's just fun to like watch, bro. He's just great. He's a good time. Not for whoever he's hunting down, of course, but like for
No,
us watching,
for us watching,
it's a
it's
great
it's
time.
it's gonna be a great time. He's hilarious. He's crude. He's an asshole. He usually gets the job done. Sometimes he doesn't, but you know,
That bike of his is super dope,
it's so dope. He
and the
whistles
fact
and
that
it
it
comes to
responds to
him.
his whistle. Yeah, facts. I'm like, the fuck is that? How? Why? You know what? Whatever.
Whatever, it's fine.
You got it.
But dude, we had Martian Manhunter in this movie. I wasn't expecting that. We had fucking
I didn't expect Martian Manhunter to meet the Kents.
same.
Like, that usually doesn't happen right away,
Dude,
if
like
at all.
they became fast friends.
It's like we're both the last of our kinds. And you know, I knew about it, but I guess I just never really thought about it that way. I'm like, oh yeah, they are each the last of their kind. So if anyone understands what one of them's going through, it would be one of them.
True. Although it's kind of weird, like how in different iterations, Jean is like the last of his kind or not. Like sometimes he's like, no, I just come from Mars. I'm just that guy that came over. And sometimes it's like, yeah, I'm the last Martian.
Hmm. I mean, hell, even in Supergirl, I mean, he thought he was the last one. Turns out he wasn't the last Martian.
He's not.
Well, let me rephrase that. I have to be very specific with that. Is he the last Martian? No. Is he the last Green Martian? Yeah.
Sometimes yes. Sometimes yes.
Like, no, but can't they just get along? No, because it's the same way that like, oh my god, I just made that connection of DBZ abridged with the White Namekians.
Oh,
Holy
you didn't get
shit!
that?
I didn't get that. That was just some shit. Like, oh man, oh god, that's a whole new level of funny. Like, I'm over here just like, oh, they're just assholes to like albino Namekians, whatever. And I'm like, no, because they're Martians. Oh god.
The whole Green Martian versus White Martian thing going on.
Oh man, I missed that the first time.
I
Jesus,
don't know.
I need
Martians know
to
what
work.
racism is too.
Racism is universal, bro.
It really is. You'd think for a species that can communicate telepathically that they'd get over it. No, not
No.
at all.
Mm. Mm. Oh, actually, in Supergirl, I just remembered in Supergirl, live action Supergirl, Jean was not the last of the Green Martians. He met his dad.
Yeah.
Yeah, his dad was alive. Not anymore, but he was alive. Makes you get the
Rude.
But yeah, no, he met his dad, and then like they get to spend time together and like reconnect and shit.
Yeah, man. I think the only time like he was truly the last Martian was like Justice League.
And his brother, I forgot his brother was in there.
Look at you.
Except his,
Fucking green
except
Martians
his
popping out
brother's
everywhere.
evil.
Aw, is he? That sucks.
I forget if that's actually like his brother or just a family member, but you've seen this Martian. It's I think his name was Malefak, the evil
You're
Green Martian.
right. I remember this.
Yes.
What a dick.
First time I learned about Malefak was actually Justice League Doom, where we learned how Batman has contingencies for everybody.
Another great DC animated movie. Dude, the DC animated universe is it's just the best.
It's great.
It's just
It's fucking great. I
best.
can't wait to see where they go with after Apocalypse War and Barry going back to redo everything.
I think we're gonna get a whole bunch of rebirth stuff. So we might get like Doomsday Clock going. That would be pretty cool.
Yo, I still need to check out how what happened when Superman met Dr. Manhattan.
That I need to read what happened when Batman sat on the Mobius chair. I need to see what's going on now that Wally's in possession of the Mobius chair. Like a lot of things are happening, dude.
Bruh. when Batman sat in the Mobius chair, I just pictured him as Eustace going sitting in the chair, going, "No, sir, not getting out of this chair."
Oh my goodness. It's
This is
it's
great.
such cool things
It's
happening.
great. Like DC's animation squad, whoever's in charge of their animation is fire, and they should get more money.
They have been releasing heat since the 90s. It's been like 3 decades of heat, bro.
It's so good. It's just straight fire. Like, there's not a lot of DC animation projects that aren't good. There's not a lot.
um, let's see.
Hell, even one show, DC animated show that like wasn't as popular, but it was still fire. Was the Kiss of B the Batman? I thought that show was dope.
It was good. The only problem is that it had big shoes to fill.
It did because
It
it
had
came after the animated
it had
series.
huge, impossibly huge shoes to fill, but it's still good. It also
Like
had to fill Batman Beyond shoes because that came after the animated series. So it was like
you're right.
you had like two back to back amazing series that like they had to like replace,
And it was rough.
but it was still
It was
good.
not going to be able to fill those shoes, no matter what they put out. But it was still good.
Word.
And then came the long and amazing journey that is Justice League and Justice League Unlimited.
So good. And then you have the one bad project is Teen Titans Go.
I said there's not many. I didn't say there's not any.
True. That was one bad project. One out of like
Teen
50.
Titans.
This is a pretty good track record.
Last I checked, that's a solid batting average. You get 50 at bats and you strike out once.
You're going into Hall of Fame. You're probably going down as the greatest of all time. Are you kidding me?
Here lies Schmitty Werben Jaegerman Jensen. He was number one.
He was number one.
Oh man. But what do you call it? So yeah. So back to the actual movie. Parasite, Lobo. Bruh, I'm 100% convinced Parasite at some point came into contact with Godzilla. I am 100% convinced.
He got so big. He
Like,
got crazy big. Like
bro, he had the spinal scales, like he had the atomic breath, he had the snoot,
the snoot.
the snout when you gotta
Oh,
boop the snoot.
gotcha. Dude, he was like, he became a kaiju, and I was just like, bro, Superman, how are you gonna deal with this? And then he didn't.
He didn't.
He
The
didn't.
problem dealt with itself.
Word.
He pulled a reverse Majin Vegeta. For those who don't know, in Dragon Ball Z Buu Saga, Majin Vegeta let out so much energy that he turned to stone because he used up not only his spiritual energy but his life force as well. So there was nothing left keeping him alive. Stone, crumbled, dust. Reverse for Parasite. Absorbing too much energy makes you turn to stone. I don't get that one.
Yeah, that breaks the law of conservation of energy. Like, where did all of it go?
See, when he was like inflating and bubbling, I'm like, oh shit, he's gonna blow.
Word. I thought he was gonna blow. I was like, oh no, bro. But then he just turned to stone. I was like, okay, so maybe all of that energy was for the transmutation, like alchemy, right? To turn him into stone. But that doesn't make sense.
The only thing I can think of is that because it was the goop was originally a bio EMP meant to absorb energy, is that maybe there was a limit, and just once the bio goop hits a limit, it just solidifies so that it's easy cleanup. I don't know. Even then, that doesn't make sense.
Yeah, that was the one part of the movie I was just like, really? Well, that part and the fact that like the whole city was kind of like okay with Superman. I was like, I mean, I mean, I feel like you should be a little more enraged at what happened because, like, he kind of
Tom Lens, he
attracted.
looks like a white. It looks like a white man. It's not gonna happen.
I mean, true, but like when you think about it, right? He attracted an alien that like beat up, like destroyed part of the town, but like he beat that guy up, which is fine. But that guy created the parasite. They don't know that, but whatever. So he's trying to deal with the parasite, and the town's like, "Yeah, deal with the parasite," and he's like, "No, no, no, it's cool. He's one of you. Like, it'll be okay." And then like, but like he already like murdered a bunch of people, and also like now that reactor is exploding, and then like I mean, parasite took care of it. But it's just weird. It's just
Yeah.
the crowd's reaction is like weird to me. I would have been like, I mean, I guess Superman is okay, but like this whole thing was sus.
Also, how did Lobo just happen to know that is like have a kryptonite ring? How did he just happen to have a kryptonite ring, my guy?
Well, he was going after a Kryptonian. He knew.
Yeah, but how would he know that kryptonite works? Like how?
Oh yeah. Here's the thing. I don't think he did know. All he did because like the line he used when he was like using the kryptonite ring, he was just like,
how poetic it would be for like a Kryptonian to get beaten to death by a piece of your planet or some shit.
Yeah, because your planet blew up and that's what killed all the Kryptonians, and now you're gonna get killed by a piece of your planet. Like,
yeah.
That. But I think that's what they used to introduce kryptonite. But I don't know if Lobo knew that it was like going to be super effective, you know?
Which is the fact that he had it.
Well,
like,
it's pretty ridiculous.
The fact that he had it. I was like, why? This is wild. Also, I find it hilarious how he was trying to get in Lois's pants.
Like I said, he's crude. He's very crude.
It's just
He's like, that's only half of the actual action mating dance.
It was so good. Lobo's he's hilarious. I love Lobo. He's a hilarious character. I love it, and he's immortal. It's crazy.
He's immortal. You'll never get rid of him.
No. You have to do to him the same thing you did to Doomsday. Send him to the end of time.
The main man doesn't get put down.
Which I was gonna say, that would just. I mean, at that point, if you send him to the end of time, where you sent Doomsday, then like they're just gonna fight each other for eternity.
Yeah.
Well,
would win.
Actually, no. Doomsday would just kill him for eternity, because Doomsday that got sent to the end of time is immune to blunt force trauma of any and all kinds, which Lobo. That's kind of what he is.
True.
He's just super strong, so he'd just be immune to it. Basically, anything that Lobo could do to him, Lobo would eventually run out of ways to kill him, because Doomsday would just come back, be immune to that form of death, and then eventually he just has no way of killing him, and it'd just be Doomsday killing him for the rest of it. I can't say time because it's the end of time, so
weird.
I don't know.
It's weird.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah. Martian Manhunter's Martian design was interesting. It looked weird.
What do you mean?
His Martian design.
He looked like a Martian.
like when he first appeared in his true alien form.
Mm-hmm.
Looked different. Like skeletally.
That's how he usually looks when he's like normal Martian form.
Different versions have him as different things. Like, remember in Justice League Unlimited, his normal Martian form looked pretty humanoid. I mean, not really skeletal at all.
I mean, like, this one, it's usually just the longer limbs. He looks like a little skinnier, like he hasn't eaten anything ever. And then, like, you know.
Because he's Namekian. They only drink water.
He loves Oreos.
He does love Oreos, and I think that's the hilarious part of him. It's just like, alright then.
Yeah. Anyways. I think it was a fun movie. I think that it wasn't the best Superman movie that has come out in recent memory, but it was still pretty good.
Yeah, no, hands down, it was a good movie. It was a very good movie, even though I don't like Superman as a character.
That's all I gotta say about it.
Pretty much. And that's all I got to say, too. So, on that note, thanks again for watching, everybody, and for listening to us rant and get sidetracked, as always. Hope you enjoyed it. Um, Please look forward to our streams and podcasts. As always, follow us on Instagram and Twitter, _content corner, so you can get updates on when episodes go live and when we go live. Um, and yeah, thanks for listening.